Offense, and this week you for real are facing the real thing in offense.
There's no doubt. They got a great quarterback. They got probably the best receiver in the country, probably the best O-line in the country. They got 4 tailbacks that are as good as anybody in the SEC. And, they're a complete offense. They run it, they throw it, and they go really, really, really fast.
What do you see, if anything, different in how Manziel plays this year compared to when you defended him last season?
Well, the big thing, I don't know if everybody knew who he was at the time. When we played him, he was he had a coming out party against Louisiana Tech right before us. Then he played really good against us. Then he went over to Tuscaloosa and won that game. So I think people started to find out who he was right around the time we played him. I don't think there's any secret right now who he is. He's a big-time quarterback, a big-time leader, and he's got some weapons that he can throw the ball to and that he can hand the ball to.
I know you can't match him, what he does on scout team, but who do you kind of use to emulate?
Yeah, we've got a couple of scout team quarterbacks, Josh Hand, Sam Cowart, and then Gabe Miles, who's out there running around a little bit. And I know he's a Starkville legend, and he's really fast, he's really athletic. So he tried to do his best to simulate what their quarterback does.
How important is it to kind of the discipline level of your guys, especially in the way back?
Right.
When Manziel does what he does,
Sure.
to just stay where they are and not get totally out of position.
We've seen this offense 3 times this year, but the difference is the plays that this kid can make with his feet. You have the routes covered, you have it, the rush lanes fit, and then all of a sudden he just improvises and makes spectacular plays. So our job is to try to limit those and make sure we do a great job covering, but also make sure we maintain our pass rush integrity too.
When dealing with Mike Evans, can you take anything away from what you did well or what you did not so well against LSU with those 2 wide receivers?
Yeah, he's a completely different kid. He's 6'5", he's 220 pounds, and he's freakishly fast and can jump out of the gym. So those 2 guys are completely different, even though they're great in their own right. He's just a completely different animal than we've been used to seeing him. He's a great player, great kid, from what everybody says. So the challenge is there, for us to be able to match up with him.
How underrated is the fact that he completes 72% of his passes? I don't think many people expect that from him.
Well, I think all the work that he's done in the offseason has improved his accuracy. You can tell that he has a greater sense of where his reads are, middle field open, middle field closed, flat defender, all those kind of things. He has great control over all those things, and he can still improvise. So that's going to be, I think that's where his development has been the most impressive.
What did you take away from the South Carolina game? I think the most 3-and-outs they've had all season,
right,
outside of a couple of plays where maybe a defensive back was out of place,
sure,
but he did a really good game.
Well, the thing that was upsetting when you watch the tape is, 2 of the runs that they had were missed tackles in the backfield. So you take away 2 of those runs, it's even a better performance. But the big thing is, whatever situation, we get into or we put ourselves into, we've got to respond. We can't let them in the end zone. And, that's the big challenge for us. And the other thing is creating turnovers. We've got 1 turnover in the last 3 weeks, 2 in the last 4. And that's just kind of, leaving everybody with a little bit of bad taste in their mouth. Make sure we're trying to do everything we can to get the ball. Forcing 3-and-outs is great. Getting off the field on 3rd downs is great. But letting people in the end zone and not creating turnovers are things that we have to improve on.
How about going into this week? Does it change the way, any way that you practice, considering the circumstances surrounding the team and Dak's kind of situation up in the air?
No, not really. I know I got to keep everybody up, and we just got to continue to do what we do best. And as a leader, I got to just keep everybody motivated and continue to play and just get better as a team.
As a leader, as you said, is it more difficult to be a leader this week, like I said, considering the circumstances?
It is, but what Dak's going through is pretty rough, and I can't imagine it. But he's strong. He's going to be fine, and he's going to come back and be ready to play and stuff like that. But for me, it's just I talked to him. He told me just make sure everybody's ready to play and just keep those guys up. And that's one thing I'm trying to do this week.
I was going to ask you, you guys have referred to each other as brothers the entire season. What have you kind of told him this week?
Well, it's hard. Like I said, I can't imagine, what he's going through and stuff like that. But, I basically told him, we're brothers, and if you need anything, just let me know, and I got your back no matter what. So, we talk a lot, and it was hard it was hard for me just to see how upset and sad he was. So right now it's just for me just to be there for him as much as I can.
When did y'all find out?
I found out probably around 12 Sunday. Found out around 12 Sunday.
On the field, Tyler, with A&M's offense just being so prolific, do you find you have to catch yourself if you're out there not to try to play perfect, not try to get a touchdown on every play, and not to try to match them, just kind of try to play your game?
No, like last year, they jumped out 21-0 last year. I felt like we ran out of time last year, and we started moving the ball a lot better in the second half. Well, this year, it's kind of the same thing. We know they're going to score, they're going to make their plays and stuff like that, but for us, it's just not getting worried. They just score a touchdown. Now we got to go do it. It's just about playing our football and just go down the field and do what we do best and not worry about them and worry, about us.
Coach told us South Carolina you could have played, but it was better that because you didn't take a shot and everything and because you didn't risk the ankle, you're in better shape this week to go.
Oh, definitely. My ankle feels a lot better this week than it did last week. And, I didn't really practice that much last week, so, it was expected. He came in and told me, he was like, if we can afford not to play you, we're not going to do it. So, that's what happened there.
Last year, the 3-game stretch against ranked teams kind of really hindered the progress of the team. How do you avoid that from happening this week with kind of the loss against South Carolina?
Well, I think everything's different this year, just because of the situation we're in. We got to finish strong. So far we've done some good things, we've done some bad things, and the outcome of some games have not been great. So, it's just, for me, it's just being a leader, trying to keep everybody focused and just continue to play football and go out there and have fun and do what we do, and we'll be fine.
Is this about how you've been running the ball really well the past couple of games now?
I mean, sure, I'm just doing what I've been called to do. Got to grade the champion every time I get the ball. So I just got to execute. I just go through my reads and I just make the right cut.
What does it take to grade champion with your coach?
Well, he wants madness and buzz. So, I mean, he think running backs is a very simple deal. So, I mean, he coaches us to the T. So, I mean, that's what he expects. So that's what he's gonna get out of me.
We hear grades and champion, but what does that actually mean? Like for people who aren't getting the grades
champion to me should. That means a lot. I mean, I want to grade champion every game I play, and I mean it means you're doing your assignment and you're doing 100% to where it's executed, and that's what our offense is built on, execution. And I try to execute every play I get.
Besides the motivation, what technically are you doing maybe that you've noticed a little differently or better in the last couple of weeks?
Whatever Coach Knox tells me to do, that's what I mean. He a big part of success. He the one that tell me what cut to make and how to read the defense and what to do.
So you're picking up more of what he's telling you. You're putting it into action.
Yeah, I'm putting his coaching into action in the field.
A lot of catches for you last week against South Carolina too. How has that kind of been implemented into your game?
I mean, I was a slot receiver in high school, so I mean, that's just coming out. That's just another factor that I have. But I mean, just like if the ball come my way, I'm just gonna catch it.
I asked you this because Coach Knox says the first thing that freshmen don't understand is blocking. They have no clue, no clue.
Because that's exactly what he wants.
So do you have a clue at this point now?
Yeah, I got a clue now. Because at first you come in, I want the ball, but now blocking is one of the key things. So
any good competitive running back wants to be, a lead back, feature back. But y'all have a pretty good system now going, you and Ladarius.
Yes, I mean, you just got to keep the rotation in, just got to stay healthy. That's all we're trying to do, just stay healthy.
By both y'all playing to help you keep healthy too, because you're not taking the beating.
Yes, sir, that's what it does. As
a running back, usually you're lined up against a linebacker covering you. When you see that matchup, do you think it's kind of you got him?
It's hands down running backs. Me, Perk, Milton, Nick, Shump. No, we eating our linebackers up. They better put a cornerback on us.
I know. Coach came up to me Friday and was like, you had the best percentages. You ready to go? And I was like, well, yeah. So he told me he was going to start.
Did you have a feeling as the week went on that your percentage was going to be good enough?
Yeah. I kicked pretty well.
Y'all track each other is what I'm saying.
I kicked pretty well throughout the whole week. And Thursday I went 5 for 5. And I kind of walked over to the side. And me and Dad were talking about it. He was like, just be ready to go, man. They might give you the call. So I was like, all right.
How was that competition in practice every week?
It's very friendly. It's competitive. we definitely battle with each other, but it's not anything, I guess, opponent-wise. I mean, it's us just trying to help each other out.
Does it help that y'all know that score, that how you do is going to do it? It's not like somebody's just picking you out on a whim.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of go into it. I mean, I try not to think about percentages. I just go out there and just do my thing, and if I make it, I make it. If I don't, well, then I worry about the next kick. So,
What was going through your mind when Devin was struggling early this year?
I was just really, I was there for moral support, and I mean, I was working every day, and if they put me in the game, I was just get ready for my shot. And if I had the opportunity, hopefully I was going to make it. Just do everything I know to do.
You've already hit one field goal this season. Now you come out and get to South Carolina. Was it a little different feeling out there?
Yeah, the first field goal I kicked was against Troy. It was late in the game. There was nobody there. South Carolina was coming to the end of the first half, still a close ball game, and run on the field in the second quarter, and you're looking into the student section, just try to keep your head down, make sure you make the kick. So